Hey guys, right, today I'm going to be doing an audio review on the RODE VideoMicro. I've had this RODE mic now for probably about a month now of using it, and so far I really like it. All I've done is just plugged it into the side of the camera, put the camera on the stand and press record. But today I just want to test it out a little bit more. So I'm going to take it outside. It's a little bit of a windy day today, and do a little bit of recording out there and just see how well it does with the wind blowing at the camera and things like that. So I'm curious to see how well it does hold up against the wind. Now it's supposed to do really well against that, but sitting in a bedroom recording, I don't really know if it does. I'll do a couple of recordings with it, with the wind deflector on, and we'll see how well it holds out with the wind, and I'll take it off and see how well it holds up against the wind then. Hopefully with the wind still hitting the mic, you'll still be able to hear my voice over it, and you won't hear that horrible wind noise hitting the microphone. But we'll see. Let's take it outside and see how well it holds up. Okay, so we're outside now. I've got the wind filter on, and now there is quite a breeze coming, so that I can really see the microphone wobbling around there in the wind. Now it's not the strongest shock mount that comes with this RODE video mic, so it is wobbling around quite a bit as the wind's hitting it. The wind deflector is on the mic at the minute, so I'm wondering how good it is blocking out that sound and how well you can hear my voice over this wind. If you can hear it at all, I don't know, we'll soon find out. Right, here's a sample with the wind deflector off. I'm not going to play too much of it though, you'll see why. So I've took the wind deflector off now, and there is quite a bit of wind still blowing up behind me and in the front of that mic. If I move around a bit so you can hear, so if I go around this way, there's probably a lot less wind now hitting it. So I would recommend, if you are going to film outside or do this vlogging style of video, is try and keep the wind coming up behind the camera, so that way the mic won't be eating all the wind straight away. So as you can tell, with all that wind, it just sounds absolutely awful. It's just not even worth using without that deflector on. So I'm going to show you a bit more footage now with the filter on, just so you can really hear a bit more of what it sounds like. Now I'm going to spin back round again, so the wind's now going to be blowing straight onto that mic. And I wonder if you can still hear me through all that wind. That is quite strong right now. It's coming outside vlogging on such a windy day. It's probably not going to do too good with this mic. But I don't know, it might be holding up great. We'll soon see. So I am curious, with me walking and how much this mic's wobbling on this stand, is that going to be picking up in the audio? We'll soon see. Okay, so listening to it all back, one of my biggest concerns when I was out was just how much that mic was bouncing in the wind, and especially when I was walking. So even with it bouncing, you couldn't hear any of that back through the mic, so I did think that was good, but I was worried about it. But for a £50 mic, I would say it does hold up very well considering how windy it was out there, but only when that wind deflector was on. So when it was on, I would say I'd done a very good job suppressing all that wind and keeping my voice quite clear. But when it was off, I'd say it was absolutely useless in the wind. You definitely wouldn't want to take it off because it's just going to ruin all your footage. So as an outdoor vlogging mic, I'd definitely say this is good enough, and it really is going to perform so much better than that mic you've got in your onboard camera. And as for the design of the mic, I love it. I do think it looks so smart. Well, comparing it to some of the other mics that are out there, it's one of the smaller ones you can get, so it's not as in your face as some of the other RODE ones they've got. Not to say that they're bad, but in size wise they're quite big, whereas this one it's tiny, so it ain't so in your face. And it's literally so easy to use. You just attach it to the top of the camera, put the jack in the back of it, then the jack into the side of the camera, and away you go. Now I'm using this at the moment on my Canon M50, so on the sound recording I've just set it to manual, and then on the recording level I've just set that to just over halfway. And I thought that was quite a good level for this camera. It wasn't too loud, it wasn't peaking, and it wasn't too quiet that you can't hear me or that I had to shout so that it would pick it up. So all in all, I would recommend this mic, but just to stress that if you're outside, just keep that wind deflector on, because if you do get any wind, it is going to pick up, it will ruin your footage, it's just not worth the risk. Just keep it on because it really does help with the sound quality. And if you can hold out for a clear day, when there's no wind, this is going to be absolutely perfect. And if you're using it how I am, just indoors, you can take it off if you want. I don't, I leave it on, just so I don't lose it. But yeah, for this setup, it's perfect. I'm not going to get any wind, it's picking my voice up perfect. I haven't got to have a clip-on mic. I haven't got to use another external mic, like the one I was using, and then lay it back in when editing. This is just perfect. It's literally just point and shoot. So for that, it definitely gets my recommendation. If you are thinking of getting one, I'll put a little Amazon link below for you. If you did find the video useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you do enjoy this type of content, I do add videos like this weekly, so make sure you hit that subscribe and that bell button, then you'll be notified when my next one goes live. And if you do that, I'll see you in my next one.